Level 1. Surviving. Your account has a number in it. Some months the number is positive, some months it isn't. The difference between those 2 months is not discipline, it is luck. One unexpected thing, a tire, a copay, a parking ticket, and the math breaks. You are not bad with money. You are one bad Tuesday from a problem you cannot solve. You know this. You just don't say it out loud. At level 1, money is not a tool. Money is a countdown. Every dollar that comes in is already spoken for before it arrives. Rent, utilities, the minimum payment on the card you used to survive last month. You are not spending, you are catching up. You will always be catching up until something changes. The thing that has to change is not your income. Not yet. It is one habit. The habit of keeping something. Anything. $20 that does not go anywhere. $20 that just sits. It will feel wrong. It will feel like you cannot afford it. You probably think you can't. You can. $20 does not move you forward. $20 teaches your brain that forward exists. Most people stay at level 1 not because they cannot leave, because they never decided to. The countdown keeps counting. The weeks keep passing. And one day you are 40 and the number still has that familiar feeling. That low hum of not quite enough. You don't have to stay here, but you do have to decide to leave. Level 2. Stable. The bills are paid. Not comfortably, not with room to breathe, but paid. The account does not go negative this month. Maybe it hasn't gone negative in 3 months. That streak feels fragile. You protect it the way you protect something you almost lost. At level 2, survival is no longer the question. The question is whether this holds, whether next month looks like this month, whether one bad week unravels everything you quietly rebuilt. You have $400 in a savings account, you put it there 6 months ago and you have not touched it. This is not an emergency fund. It is the beginning of one. It is also the first money in your life that has no job. It is just there, waiting. That waiting is new. That waiting is the whole thing. Your coworker mentions he is going to Vegas for a long weekend. Flights, hotel, all in for maybe $900. He says it casually the way people say things that are not decisions to them. You do the math in your head without meaning to. You say you are busy that weekend. He does not notice. You drive home in a car that needs a tire you keep putting off. At level 2, you are not behind. You are building a floor. Most people underestimate how long it takes to build a floor and how much everything changes once you have one. The floor is not freedom. The floor is what freedom is built on top of. Keep building. Level 3. Breathing room. 3 months of expenses saved. Maybe 6. A number in an account that could absorb the tire, the copay, the flight cancellation, the bad month at work, all of it, without touching the rest of your life. You know the exact number. You calculated it on a Sunday night 6 months ago, and you have been feeding it ever since. $8,400. That is 3 months of your life in a high-yield savings account, earning something small but real. The morning after you hit that number, you wake up and something is different. Not dramatically, just slightly. Money is not the first thought. It is there. But it is not leading anymore. Your friend calls with a crisis. His transmission went. $2,200. He needs to borrow money or he loses the job because he cannot get to work. You lend it without checking your account first. Not because you are wealthy, because you built the floor and the floor held. He pays you back in 4 months. He never asks how you had it. He assumes you are just doing well. You are not doing well by any standard anyone would brag about. You have a used car, a modest apartment, and $8,400 sitting in an account you do not touch. But you slept last night. Really slept. The low hum is quieter now. At level 3, you stop surviving each month and start inhabiting it. You notice your weeks. You make plans that aren't contingent on nothing going wrong. Nothing has changed about your income. Everything has changed about your mornings. Level 4. Investing. The first contribution hits your brokerage account on a Tuesday, $200. You set it up the week before on a Sunday night after watching your savings account sit at the same number for 2 months. The emergency fund is funded, the bills are paid, the $200 has nowhere else it needs to be. You buy an index fund, something broad, boring, and unglamorous, the kind of ticker nobody brings up at dinner. You watch the number for 3 days like it might do something interesting. It does not. It goes up $4. It goes down $7. It goes up $3. You stop watching. The second month, another $200. The third month, another $200. By month 6, the account holds $1,240, including the small, strange amount the market added without your permission. That number belongs to you, and you did nothing to earn it except not spend $200 6 times. Your brother asks what you are doing with your money these days. You say saving. He nods the way people nod when the answer is boring. He just put a deposit on a boat. He will talk about the boat for the next 3 years. The boat will cost him more than your brokerage account will make you this year. The difference is that your account will still be there in 3 years and the boat will be a conversation he stops having. At level 4, money starts working a second shift. You are still working the first one, but something small and quiet is working alongside you now. It earns while you sleep. It earns while you sit in meetings. It earns while your brother talks about the boat. It is small. You will be tempted to dismiss it. Don't. Level 5. Momentum. The number is real now. Not real the way $1,200 is real. Real the way a thing with gravity is real. You check the account and it has moved in your absence in a way that is no longer trivial. $47,000 you got here in 6 years. Of 4 years of $400 a month and 2 years of $600 a month, after the raise you stopped lifestyle inflating. You did not feel rich at any point during those 6 years. You felt behind at most of them. You went to a wedding where 4 of your friends compared notes on their mortgages like home ownership was a sport you had failed to qualify for. You drove home in the same car you drove there 5 years earlier, but the number is $47,000. Compound interest at level 5 stops being a concept from a personal finance article and starts being a line on a graph that bends upward in a way that feels personal, like it is doing something for you specifically, like the years of silence finally have a return. You run a projection on a Sunday morning. If nothing changes, if you just keep the $600 a month and let the market do what it has always done over long enough windows, the number in 10 years is not $47,000 anymore. The number is something that makes you put the phone down and sit quietly for a moment. You do not tell anyone. There is no one to tell who would understand what the silence means. That is fine. The silence is the point. Level 6. Options. You could leave your job tomorrow, not comfortably, not permanently, but you could. You have 8 months of expenses in liquid accounts and a brokerage balance large enough that selling a portion would extend that runway to 14 months if you needed it. You have never had 14 months before. You have had 2 weeks. You have had overdrafts. You have had the specific anxiety of Sunday nights knowing Monday was coming and you had no exit. That anxiety is gone. Not because your job is better, because your job is now optional in a way it has never been before. Your manager calls you into his office on a Thursday. He explains a new initiative, a restructuring of your role. More responsibility, same compensation, effective immediately. He watches your face. He is waiting for the nod. The automatic yes you have given every time before this one. You wait 3 seconds. You tell him you want to think about it overnight. His face changes slightly. He says, of course. You walk out. You get in your car. You sit in the parking lot for 2 minutes. That pause, those 3 seconds, cost you nothing and told you everything. The word no is now available to you. You did not use it. But knowing it exists changes every room you walk into. At level 6, money stops being the reason you stay. It becomes the reason you could leave. That distinction is the entire difference between a career and a cage. Level 7. Freedom. The dividend hit at 6:43 in the morning. $1,840, not from your job, not from overtime, from owning. While you slept, the portfolio did what portfolios do when you have fed them long enough and left them alone. $1,840 covers your rent. The entire month. Paid by money you did not earn with your hours. You sit at the kitchen window with your coffee and you do the math on the back of a receipt because you cannot help it. Rent covered. If you cut the subscriptions and cooked at home most nights, groceries too. Gas, the basic shape of a life funded by a portfolio you spent a decade building in silence, while everyone around you was certain you were falling behind. You still have your job. You go in on Monday. You participate in the meeting. You take the notes. Nobody knows. The woman at the desk next to you has the same title and the same salary and a credit card balance that has not moved in 2 years. She does not know that your Thursday and her Thursday are structurally different now, that yours is a choice and hers is a requirement. You do not tell her. There is no version of that conversation that ends well. You eat lunch alone on a bench in the sun. You think about the version of you at level 1, the countdown, the $20, the hum. You are not rich. You are not retiring tomorrow. But work is no longer the only option. It is just the option you are currently choosing. That is the whole game. That is what a decade of silence bought you. Level 8. Untouchable. The portfolio runs without you now, not metaphorically, literally. The dividends reinvest automatically. The contributions continue on schedule. The number grows in your absence the way a river moves, whether you are watching it or not. $890,000. You did not feel the moment it crossed $800,000. You were in a meeting about quarterly targets. Your phone buzzed. You looked at it under the table. You put it back in your pocket. You nodded at something someone said. Nobody in that room knew. Nobody needed to. The passive income is $35,600 a year. More than the salary you made at level 1. More than your rent, your groceries, your car, your subscriptions, your phone, your gas, the entire operational cost of being alive for 12 months. Paid automatically. Paid while you sleep. Paid while you sit in meetings about quarterly targets that no longer determine whether you eat. Your brother calls on a Sunday. He asks how things are going. You say fine. He tells you about the boat. He sold it 2 years ago, but he has a new thing now. A side hustle. He is going to tell you about it for 20 minutes, and somewhere in the middle of it, he is going to ask if you want to invest. You already know this. You let him talk. You love your brother. The money is separate from that. You hang up. You sit in a house you own. The mortgage is paid by a portion of the dividend. The rest of the dividend reinvests. The portfolio grows. Next year, the passive income will be larger. The year after that, larger still. The system is no longer something you are building. It is something that is building itself. You think about the map. The 8 levels, the countdown at level 1, the $400 in the savings account at level 2 that you protected like something fragile. The Sunday night you opened the brokerage app for the first time and bought something boring that nobody at dinner had ever heard of. You did not get here by being smarter. You did not get here by earning more. You got here by drawing the map when you were at the bottom of it and deciding that the distance between level 1 and level 8 was worth the years nobody was watching. Most people never draw the map. They have the feeling, the vague sense, the hum. You had that too. You just decided the hum was not a permanent condition. You decided it was a starting point. Somewhere right now, someone is at level 1. The account is low. The month is long. The countdown is counting. They don't know yet that they are not stuck. They are just at the beginning of the map. The map was always there. It was just waiting for someone to decide to use it.